Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Studios here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today I'm going to be reviewing Extraction 2. So, Extraction 2 is the sequel to Extraction, which is an action film on Netflix and is produced by Anthony and Joe Russo. I don't need to say what they made because you all know that. And it's directed by Sam Hargrave and stars Chris Hemsworth and a bunch of actors I don't know. B-list actors. I can't even pronounce their names. And so basically, the plot for Extraction 2 it tells a story taking place after Tyler Rake has died in the first film. He pretty much gets is revealed to actually not be dead, and he's still breathing, and he was actually just in a coma and woke up. So once he woke up, he is sent to a home. He's sent to the hideout to be able to train, to be able to, well, pretty much just train to become stronger. And then we got Idris Elba's character, which I forgot to mention he's in this film. A very surprise appearance because no one knew he was going to be in this film. But Idris Elba hires Tyler Rake to rescue this Belgium children. Wait, where they're from again? I don't remember, but I don't remember, but definitely some foreigners with white hair and stuff like. Basically, a mother with two children, who's pretty much, whose father is pretty much, father uncle is pretty much a villain. Like pretty much, mother and children who are related to the main villain of the movie. So they must pretty much save them from prison and protect them from and then we got lots of action. So it's basically the plot for this movie. So I know I'm actually pretty late to reviewing this movie. I wasn't able to review it yesterday, mainly because I had no time to do it. I was kind of busy and I kind of forgot to do this review. Honestly, I was like because I was like thinking I'm probably not gonna have time because I still need to get some things out of the way. My Flash review, my Elemental review, and maybe some other videos, but considering that I had other videos to deal with, I actually forgot to make this one until now. So yeah, it's been like a week ago now since I last saw this, so I may not have the freshness of mind reviewing this, but I was able to watch some clips just to refresh myself on this movie in particular. Just a brief, just to give you all my thoughts on Extraction 1. I give it an 8 out of 10. It's a really good action film and probably one of the better movies of 2020. The year probably the worst year for movies where there's like not much showing. At least, yeah, sure, yes, it's not in my top 10 favorite movies of 2020, and there are some movies I enjoy more, but just since most of the 2020 movies are pretty much just slow, small indie films, so it's really nice to have an action film like that. Yeah, sure, the story is generic and there are some really slow scenes like that, but I enjoyed Extraction for the most part. I personally enjoyed the first movie. And I will admit though, I when I heard that they were making an Extraction 2, I found it to be pretty questionable. I was really Extraction 2? I mean, did we really ask for this? And while the Asian trailer did look awesome, I still found myself questioning this movie's existence. Why did we need to make this movie? Why did it need to be sequel? Especially when Tyler Rake literally gets killed off at the end of the movie. This trailer looked great, but on its own, I'm still questioning why it exists. However, the second trailer that came, the second trailer, the official trailer that came like a month ago, I think, really actually got me invested. It actually made that second trailer. It actually started to make sense as to why the sequel exists and what was the point of it. And actually I started getting excited for it because I know understand now why they made this movie. And yeah, and I gotta say, it even looked better than the first movie. And there's even a report that there's gonna be a one-shot take scene that lasted for 30 minutes. So yeah, I was pretty interested. I was pretty excited to check this movie out. And then when saw the movie for itself, like I actually saw this movie kind of blind without not much reviews, with maybe like like one or two people saying that this is better than the first film. But other than that, I watched this movie completely blind without seeing the Rotten Tomatoes score. And after seeing this movie, I gotta say that movie was awesome. It was even better than the first movie, and it's not even close. Yeah, this is it the most necessary sequel ever? Not really, but I mean, but well, just for the fact that it has a sequel alone, it doesn't serve like the best purpose. But but I think that this is just a really good sequel. Like just judging this as a movie as all, it just managed to be better than the first one. So I'm not gonna say that the sequel was unnecessary because like it was actually able to do something and actually tell a new story and and surpass the first film. That's exactly what's pretty much basically like sequels is that when they tell new stories, whether it's a continuation of the first film or it's just a story or like just a new story. At least it's able to tell something new. You just have the same characters around you and but you're just hearing a different story. That's pretty much my stance towards sequels. Yeah, I like sequels. I feel like people just hate on sequels way too much, and I'm gonna make a video defending movie sequels. At least they tell like stories that are that feel original and refreshing, unlike remakes where you just repeat the same story. The only thing with sequels is that you're just gonna be getting the same characters, the same faces, but if you really love the characters from the first film, and you think that there would be a good idea for a sequel, you'd really want to see more of these characters. So that's pretty much and besides, characters is my favorite aspect of film. You can't write a story without characters, but you can write characters without writing a plot to it. Movies like Babylon does not have a plot, but it's mostly a character-driven story, and I love that movie. But I'm just using Babylon as an example, though, but it's not really that related. And Extraction 2 works. Just seeing the characters again, old and new, and actually caring about them. And I cared about the characters way more than I did in the first film. I actually cared about Tyler Rake more, even though I've always loved Tyler Rake. With Chris Hemsworth being like a John Wick action star with like gone through action scenes, they really upped the scale with this one. This one, and Chris Hemsworth gives a really fun performance. We can clearly tell that Chris Hemsworth really was having such a blast with this role as the lead, as well as like some of the other characters Nick. I forgot her actress's name, but she was just amazing and by far the standout of the movie. She kicked a lot of ass and she kicked so much ass especially in the train sequence, which I will tell about the action scenes in a bit. And also the family that they rescued were also really good, especially the mother with the white haired mother. I really loved her. I think she was such a wrestling character. She's like pretty much the heart of the movie. And then we got Olga Kurylenko, who I also forgot to mention the cast list in the beginning, who pretty much plays Tyler's sister. I thought she was really good in this movie. I think this is one of her better performances in my opinion. And then we got the villain who, yeah, I'll admit, the first movie had such an extremely forgettable villain. Like I don't remember a single thing about the villain in the first film. Like one of the most forgettable villains ever. But the villain in this movie was pretty underrated. I think the villain in this movie is decent. Now he's not a great villain by any means. He has but he actually, for what the kind of villain he is, he's actually pretty decent for the most part. And also, I feel like the story was much better this time. Yeah, sure, you may argue that it is technically the same story, but the story about Tyler Rake who must rescue people from the bad guys, who has a strong relation with them, who is kind of related or something. But while the first film did feel very thin, this one actually feels stronger. That this plot actually feels more impressive. Yeah, this time around I was actually impressed with the story and how it felt a little thicker and there's more to it. Yeah, and it made me actually care more. And this is a bigger sequel than the first film. Like, never have I seen a Netflix film have this much stakes that feel this big more than Extraction 2. And and that leads me to pretty much the thing we all come to these extraction movies for, the action scenes. The action in this movie is amazing. One of the best action scenes in the film, bar none. It is just pure entertainment throughout from start to finish. Like, this movie had non-stop action. Like, the action is just non-stop. And you know I love me some non-stop action. And almost every action scene in this movie hits. There was one action scene that was a miss, unfortunately, but I'll get to that in a bit. But technically, there were only three action scenes, but two out of three of those action scenes literally took up the vast majority of the movie and made it feel like this movie had non-stop action. Of course, you got, the one-shot take one, basically the scene where Tyler Rick and his crew were saving the kids, the family from prison, and then we got this whole 21-minute entire escape scene just with one-shot takes. And if you know me so well, I never talk about this, but I love one-shot takes, and I think more movies need to use the one-shot takes. Whether you got just simple one-shot scenes like in John Wick Chapter 4 or Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which the latter being my favorite one-shot take sequence of all time, and or if it's just straight one-shot take from beginning to end with not a single cut from with Birdman and 1917. But this is one of my favorite one-shot takes. Like, seriously, the entire prison escape scene is just really left me on the edge of my seat. Like, seeing like Tyler Rick, just like running around prison, getting the family away, and then fighting off against the people who come at them, and then and you got the prison brawl which you saw in the teaser trailer, and then you got the characters are running into the trains, and then we see this entire train fight sequence, with that train fight, which is probably my favorite part of the entire movie, the train scene specifically, but the entire 21 minute action scene is probably is my favorite. It's just so good. I really dug it. And although yes, the moment the action scene ends, I was like, oh man, I wanted to see more of that. We could have had more of that. And then we get to the how do I say this and then we get to technically 5 to 10 minutes of briefing before the next big action scene now, which is the hotel action scene. Now, basically where the villains find out about basically follow the main characters, and we get this another prolonged action scene with basically the characters escaping the hotel, and you got a lot of crazy stunts in this movie. Like, the stunts in this movie are absolutely crazy. Like, like the most memorable part about this was when Tyler was pretty much fighting it like inside the gym, like and he literally crushes the villains with the mercenaries with the gym equipment. Like, there was a scene like insane stunts where Tyler literally just smashed, like, throws someone's head into the treadmill, and then the guy just flies away, and then his head gets banged by the treadmill and then just flies away. That was insane. And there's even a suspenseful moment in that moment where basically Nick is about to fall from the roof, and then Tyler just couldn't really decide if he wants to continue fighting the mercenaries or going to save Nick. And that was when he just pretty much just does both, and is pretty much able to do like them both at once. That is how badass he is. And yeah, the action scene just pretty much went on for really long, and I really enjoyed it. And then of course we get to the final battle. Oh, before the final battle, we got a really great scene with Olga Kurylenko's playing the sister of Tyler, and there was like some great heartwarming scenes in that moment. But unfortunately though, that's pretty much all my positives now, because I do have a few minor flaws in this movie. And yes, it's not a perfect movie. So yeah, what are my flaws with this movie exactly? Yeah. So my flaws in this movie. So I feel like the final battle was a miss. Yeah, Extraction is meant to have a such a an epic final battle, but I feel like the final one, like the one that's supposed to end the actions, the whole movie with a bang, it's just so lackluster. Like the villain gets defeated easily just in like 2 seconds, just in a very small and lackluster fight scene, and yeah, and it's just so yeah, just not very good in my opinion. It's just it feels very slow. Like actually, like they're all moving just so slow, and there are like some brutal stabbings. And by the way, you guys see a lot of stabbings in this, like brutal stuff in this movie, and I love it. Like the final battle was just not really that good. And yeah, that was probably the weakest in the film. At least the first movie, the first Extraction movie, had a really good action scene. Actually had a final battle that was actually big, that was actually massive, and actually had, felt like a final battle. This one is like, was this even a final battle? And also my other flaw in this movie is one of the characters, who is just not very good. I'm talking about Simon. Yeah, pretty much the boy, the elder son of the mother who I don't remember his name. Yeah, oh my goodness, this guy sucks. So yeah, basically what this character, the problem with this character. So basically he frames a Tyler for his death, and then just starts to like beat, like quote unquote beat up Tyler when he actually can't, and he's like, oh, you killed my father, it's your fault, like even though he didn't, like. And then like I felt like, okay, it's true, he knows that he's probably not Tyler. Guess what he does next? They leave the place. I forgot where, but they're in the plane. He calls the villains, and tells them where the main characters are. Are you serious right now? Like, really, Tyler? Like, no, really, Simon? Like, ugh. And he actually joins the villains. I don't even know why he joins the villains. Like, why? What motivation is there? Oh boy. And then everyone's just like, hey, don't join them, join us. And then he just like doesn't listen. Like, until the end of the movie, where he pretty much finds out that the villain's true nature, and then yeah. Ugh. He's by far the worst character in this movie. So overall, Extraction 2 is better than the first film in every single way. While it's not a perfect movie, it is very close to being a flawless movie. And it has some of the best action scenes in the film, and it's definitely one of the most entertaining, the most fun time I had this year. So with that said, I'm gonna give Extraction 2 a 9 out of 10. I've already mentioned my rating for Extraction 2. I don't remember if I told you what I rate the first movie. If I forget about it, if I forget, I gave it a 8 out of 10. Just in case I forgot, but I just don't fully remember. So also for my review of Extraction 2, what is your opinion on this movie? Do you agree with me that this is better than the first movie? Or do you not care about this movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for maybe my top 10 favorite movies of 2023 so far. Just a maybe, but I will try to do it later if I have enough time. Depends on how much time I have, since I'm going to be like going out and doing other things. But if not, then stay tuned for my review of Raiders of the Lost Ark, for Indiana Jones reviews leading up to Dial of Destiny. So yeah, bye guys.